Egypt, in ancient times, stood as one of the most powerful and influential empires. Renowned for its wealth and culture, the ancient Egyptians were skilled architects, engineers, and artists, creating some of the most remarkable monuments and artworks of that era. Their construction of grand pyramids, temples, and other public structures served as symbols of their dominance and advanced civilization. Thriving on the fertile lands of the Nile River Valley, the Egyptians had developed a sophisticated culture and economy. They expertly managed the river's floods and utilized irrigation systems to cultivate surplus crops for trade. At the core of this empire was the intelligent and charismatic Queen Cleopatra, who ascended to the throne at a young age. Known for her support of the arts, her court attracted renowned artists, writers, and scholars. Cleopatra herself was a scholar and multilingual, ruling Egypt jointly with her young brother husband, Ptolemy XIII. Despite her efforts to govern firmly, tensions arose due to her brother's advisors, leading to conflicts and plots against her rule. Cleopatra's ambition and desire for power clashed with the challenges of her brother's youth, shaping a complex political landscape in ancient Egypt. Her conflict with the nobles arose due to their constant opposition to Cleopatra, the boy pharaoh. Recognizing the tense situation, she understood that their joint rule was unsustainable. It was clear that either she or her brother would prevail. Cleopatra sought to consolidate her power by taking steps to sideline her brother, garnering the support of the Egyptian people who viewed her as a capable leader. However, the support of the common people was not enough, as the influential nobles and politicians held more power. Consequently, they compelled the pharaoh to dismiss Cleopatra, leading to her exile in Alexandria as Ptolemy declared himself the sole ruler of Egypt. There are various theories as to why Ptolemy chose not to kill Cleopatra but instead exiled her. One possibility is that he may have been hesitant to take such an extreme action against his own sister, fearing it would violate traditional Egyptian values. Nevertheless, it was likely not his decision, but rather that of the boy pharaoh's chief advisor Pothinus, an influential eunuch who had also served as an advisor to his father. However, Pothinus did not anticipate that Cleopatra would challenge the pharaoh's authority. In 48 BC, Cleopatra returned to Egypt with an army, aiming to reclaim her rightful place on the throne. After a series of battles, her forces captured the city of Pelusium, but Ptolemy's forces regrouped and retook Alexandria. The conflict continued, with both sides vying for power. Meanwhile, in the Roman Empire, Julius Caesar defeated Pompey in the Battle of Pharsalus, leading Pompey to flee to Egypt in a bid to save his life. Long ago, Pompey had lent the Egyptian kingdom significant amounts of money, leading him to believe that the pharaoh owed him a debt. Seeking assistance in his conflict against Julius Caesar, Pompey turned to the pharaoh. However, Ptolemy, aware of Pompey's defeat and preoccupied with his own struggle against Cleopatra, was unable to aid others in their battles. In fact, he required assistance against Cleopatra. At the age of 14, Ptolemy had matured and made a strategic political move. Understanding that Julius Caesar was en route to Egypt to pursue Pompey, Ptolemy believed that by gaining Caesar's favor, he could quash Cleopatra's rebellion with Caesar's help. Consequently, he killed the Roman statesman Pompey and presented his head as a gift to Caesar upon his arrival. To the pharaoh's surprise, Caesar was outraged by the sight of Pompey's head. Despite being adversaries, Pompey was still a Roman. Egypt and Rome were in a state of peace, and Caesar disapproved of the pharaoh's disrespectful treatment of a respected Roman general. Refusing to aid Ptolemy against his sister, Caesar sought an audience with Cleopatra and ultimately decided to wage war against her. The pharaoh's house detained Caesar, demanding his support in fighting alongside them against Cleopatra before releasing him. Upon learning of Julius Caesar's presence in Egypt, Cleopatra disguised herself as a servant and infiltrated Caesar's quarters to free him. Utilizing her charm and political acumen, she managed to secure Caesar's backing. Cleopatra was precisely the type of woman who could captivate someone like Julius Caesar. Recognizing the significance of maintaining peace in Egypt, given its role in supplying Rome with essential goods like grain, Caesar took action. Following the recent conflicts in Egypt, disruptions in the supply chain led to food riots in Rome. Caesar, in an effort to address the issue for the Republic, aligned himself with Cleopatra. He found her to be not only politically astute and capable compared to her brother, but also captivating due to her charm and beauty. Their bond grew stronger, evolving into a romantic relationship that was both political and personal. Caesar's military expertise aided Cleopatra's forces in besieging Alexandria, resulting in the city's capture after months of conflict. With Cleopatra assuming control of Egypt, Caesar returned to Rome to quell the food riots that had sparked unrest. Despite his swift resolution of the food shortage problem, Caesar's temporary dictatorship, sanctioned by the Senate, began to solidify into a more permanent position. This, coupled with his association with Cleopatra, raised concerns among influential senators who feared Caesar's growing power might lead to the establishment of a monarchy or dictatorship in Rome. Caesar's misuse of power to diminish the authority of the Senate and other political institutions led to his assassination by a group of senators in March 1544 BC. Upon hearing the news, Cleopatra was deeply saddened by the loss, both personally and politically. Recognizing Rome's dominance in the Mediterranean region, Cleopatra sought to re-establish an alliance with Rome for the security and prosperity of Egypt. Fearing a Roman invasion, she turned to Mark Antony, a trusted ally of Caesar, to safeguard her throne and protect Egypt from external interference. In 41 BC, Antony visited Egypt to discuss forming an alliance with Cleopatra. She made a grand entrance, sailing down the Nile on a lavishly adorned barge, captivating Antony with her charm. Their ensuing love affair became a driving force behind Cleopatra's political maneuvers. Together, they established a coalition against Octavian, who happened to be Caesar's own adopted son. Antony's reputation suffered a blow when he divorced his Roman wife to marry Cleopatra and had multiple children with her, leading many to view him as a mere puppet of the foreign queen. In 31 BC, Octavian initiated a war against Antony and Cleopatra, culminating in the Battle of Actium in Greece. Cleopatra, a skilled politician and strategist, lacked military experience. Antony, on the other hand, led the army but was clouded by his love for Cleopatra and his excessive drinking. Octavian's navy proved to be far superior, outmaneuvering Antony's weakened forces plagued by illness and desertion. In the final battle, Cleopatra and her fleet observed from a safe distance as Antony's army was decimated by Octavian's superior tactics. Realizing defeat was imminent, Cleopatra ordered her ships to flee, with Antony following suit. The battle resulted in a devastating defeat for their alliance, forcing them to retreat to Alexandria, Egypt. Octavian pursued them, and after a lengthy siege, Antony's army began to abandon him, while Cleopatra's supporters turned against her. In August of 30 BC, Antony received false reports of Cleopatra's suicide, leading him to take his own life out of despair. Upon learning of Antony's death, Cleopatra decided to join him in the afterlife. Legend has it that she arranged for an asp, a venomous snake, to be brought to her in a basket of figs. Allowing the snake to bite her, Cleopatra succumbed to the poison. Her demise not only marked the transition from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire, but also signified the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty, which had governed Egypt since Alexander the Great's passing in 323 BC. Following her death, Cleopatra became a symbol of female power and independence, inspiring countless works of art, literature, and popular culture that continue to resonate with people today. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and share the channel to support us.